That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Folks, here's the thing I need to tell you right now. I do not feel safe. I don't. I sit here now. I'm a little worried. I'm a little screwed up. I got my head on a swivel. I don't know what's going to happen. Because here I am in the oldest building in Hollywood, in the part of that building that is owned by my friend and producer and head stripper in charge, Lily Von Stupp. And I have to tell you this, folks. I fear for my mortal safety a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen because I found out just now, and I don't know if I've talked about this before. I may have, I may not have. It's been brought up, and I've kind of shined it, and not really discussed it. I think, but if I have talked about it, I'm sure someone out there will write me and go, "Dude, you totally talked about this. You did an entire show about it. Don't you remember? You did a month of shows dedicated to this very topic. We talked about it forever. It was great. We had a ticker tape parade in your honor." I remember none of that, folks. I don't know anything. I barely remember what the fuck I'm doing half the time. But I guess that happened. I guess why am I presuming that it happened? It doesn't happen. It didn't happen. And who are you, folks, to sit there and tell me that I've already talked about this when I haven't even gotten to the topic yet, for fuck's sake? You're sitting there right now and you're going, oh, we already heard it. No, you haven't heard it, I promise. But I can't promise that because I don't know. I might have talked about it. I have no idea. Regardless, I'm dancing as fast as I can here because I don't know how to perceive this. I don't know how to properly bring this to you, folks, because I am a nervous wreck. I don't know how to handle this because I just found out. Not really. I sort of knew, but there was a different level of finding out just now about this particular topic, about this particular subject. As I sit here in the oldest building in Hollywood with my tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds in my ears and a microphone in my face, directly across from Lily Von Stupp as she has her Mac Pro book extravaganza thing. I don't know what it is, but it's huge and it's prominent and it's popular and it's got a glowing apple on it. As we sit here and stare at one another, nothing between us but air and opportunity. I sit there and I look at her and I realize this because she just dropped this on me a second ago. We were talking, we were having a casual conversation, and she just looks at me and she goes, "I have a gun in the house." And look, I know she's banging a Marine, so I figured at some point there was some sort of firepower hidden somewhere here in the oldest building in Hollywood. But the way she broached the subject was so weird just now that it really kind of threw me off a little bit. Like I didn't know how to, because this is the exact quote. She's like, "I have a gun in the house, and I know exactly where it is, and I know how to use it, and I know how to get to it if I need it." What? Is this some sort of low-level threat? And did I come on too strong about something, and you're telling me that basically you'll put me in my place by fucking busting and give me a fucking lead salad? I mean, seriously, what? It was so weird. Just this weird, because again, we were talking and having a good time. We were chatting about Facebook and America's Yearbook and all these different things and talking about Flickr accounts. And then out of nowhere, it's just, yeah, by the way, I have a gun. What? And I said, "You have a gun?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have a gun. And unless Eddie's moved it, I know exactly where it is and I can get my hands on it and I know how to use it." What the fuck? Why? We're having a nice conversation about Brita water filters. Why the fuck are you bringing up the fact that you're armed? I don't care. You're scaring the shit out of me now. I didn't think I was a threat, folks. I didn't think I was someone who needed to be put in his place. All of a sudden, I'm in here. I thought I was coming into a podcast, and now I'm here with James Caan from Thief. As he flashes his waistband with a fucking gun tucked in the center of it and just like, "Hey, take a walk, Flash." Yes, I will. I will be William L. Peterson, and I will take a walk, Flash. Abso-fucking-lutely. You have a gun. Holy shit. So if I'm on my best behavior, I'll tell you this, let's put it this way. If it feels like I'm holding back, if maybe I'm not saying the things that you think I should say, folks, if you think I'm not bringing all that I can to the microphone, it's because I'm a little worried. Because if I say the wrong thing, this thing ends with a gunshot. And not, as we've all known for years and years, a self-inflicted gunshot, as we've all expected this show to end. No. I'm going to get put in my place by our friend, the producer, Lily Von Stupp, and then I'm sure she would like yank my jeans halfway down and said, he tried to rape me. And I'd be like, oh my God, how terrible is that? And they're going to say, well, then, so what did you do? And she goes, well, I have a gun in the house, and I know how to get to it, and I know how to use it. Well, that's evidence by you're the fat guy with his jeans around his knees on the floor, bleeding out. So that was, it just had an ominous tone as we were sitting here talking, folks. I mean, everything seemed to be fine. And then out of nowhere, I got told that there was a gun in the house and she knew how to use it. All right. Hi, folks. How are you? I'm in trouble. As I told you, I'm under the gun. Look at that. Look at that bit of fucking genius that I just brought to you. That's not genius at all. That's more of a connection of a phrase. But so what? Connecting? I was going to say connection and connecting. All right, I should tell you this too, folks. We're recording on a Tuesday today. It is, what's it, 4 o'clock? 3:41 in the afternoon, folks, here on Tuesday, May 8th. I don't know, Lily. You have a calendar right there. Oh, that's right. You can't read your numbers. I'm sorry. Exactly. She has troubles with numbers and colors. So don't bring in here. Don't bring in here. If you're like green, you're gonna get shot. It's gonna fucking happen. If you break in here and you're like a green 3, holy shit, she will put a bullet into a green 3 faster than you can count to it. Ha ha ha! Yeah. So all right, so it's May 7th, which is Tuesday, and it's May 7th at 3:42 probably now. That's my guess. I'm gonna guess a minute went by as I talked about green 3s. Oh, if only it had gone to 3. What if it was 3:33? Why couldn't you have lied? You should have said it was 3:33, and then I'm talking about green 3s, and it all comes together. What are you doing? You're looking for paperwork? Oh, is that the notes? You're gonna keep notes? Our friend Lily usually look. Here's how the show's deteriorated, folks. Let me go ahead and drop this on you. You know, I started out with our friend Eric, who's a decent fella, and he's the reason I'm doing this show. And then his wife got tired of me and sent me out my way. And so I said, okay, goodbye. And then I was going to end this show. I was actually going to do one more farewell show, and then Lily saved me from the scrap heap. And she actually took her producer chores very seriously. Like, Eric was nice, but Eric he was so concerned about his equipment working, and that he was looking at all the bells and whistles and the levels and everything like that. And then when he would laugh, he would just kind of laugh into his sleeve. And it was kind of, I will say, it's kind of charming and funny. Like if you buy year 1 and you listen to the first 10 episodes, you will hear him laughing in the background. And he's trying not to. That's my favorite part of it. Is he thinks it's going to disturb the show, like not knowing that that's exactly what I wanted. But I would be doing the show talking, and I wasn't looking, because I'm looking at Lily now. She's like directly in front of me. She's about 5 feet away. 5, 6? I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Why don't you shoot me? How far would a bullet? How far does your gun shoot? We'll figure that out. Are you looking for a tape measure? If you are, you're my favorite person who ever lived. All right. Why not? Let's do that. Let's kill a little time with that, folks. You guys are sitting there going, Jesus Christ, I've always wondered just how close Lily is. Because we've made adjustments. Lily used to be right on top of me, man. And I mean like straddling my chest, which is really fun to do the show that way. But it did get a little weird after about 2 hours of her straddling my chest. I will not lie to you. No tape measure? God damn it. Here's my favorite. All right, look, this is my favorite part of Liz, my favorite thing of all time. She was going to do the tape measure, and what did I say, folks? Go back, rewind it. What did I say? If you get a tape measure, you are my favorite person who ever lived. And then she looked in one drawer and gave up.
You keep talking, I'll go find one.
No, you're really going to leave? Oh, Christ. So literally, she turned around. She didn't even leave her chair. She was on her chair. She turned around, and she opened one drawer, and she goes, I can't find it. I can't find it. I'm in the oldest building in Hollywood. There has to be a tape measure here that's fucking Greta Garbo used at some point, right, when she wanted to be alone. She's like, I want to be alone. And she took her tape measure out and she fucking drew a box around herself and everybody left her alone. That's what they did. Because in the oldest building of Hollywood, whenever fucking any celebrity went ahead and made a request, you honored it, folks. That's how it used to be back in the day. Are you still looking? Oh, hold on, folks. I got tits on my back. That was nice. You did. You leaned on me. You know who else leaned on me? Janet Jackson. Ever tell that story on here? I think I have. I've told that story a million times. All right. How far away are you from me? We've got the tape measure out, folks.
I'm 51 inches away.
Oh my Christ, that's a lot. That's actually closer than I thought you would be. So you're good. You're about 4 feet from me. Yeah, So I said 5. That wasn't bad. You're 4 and change. See, folks, look at the fun we're having with numbers. You know, you're a green 3 inches away from me, so that works out. Don't shoot me, folks. God damn it, we're having so much fun with numbers and math and measurements and science. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's who I am. I'm fucking the Neil deGrasse Tyson of stupid podcasts, of comedy. So Lily used to actually be much closer to me, and then we made an adjustment because everybody was just like, "Hey, how come Lily has the microphone in her mouth?" And I was like, "Yeah, that seems weird, right? Probably shouldn't do that." So she used to be actually 47 inches away from me, but we went ahead and tacked on the extra 4 so she wouldn't be right there. What if that was true? What if we literally? What if I had broken podcasting down to such a science that I was like, listen, here's how it works for me. I need you 47 inches away, and that's what it was for the first 3 years. But then after that, I went, you know what? We got to tack an extra 4 on there. This is really getting to be something that we need to pay attention to. Dumbass. All right, so it is Tuesday, May 7th, and it is now. It's got to be now like 3:46. It has to be.
It is exactly 3:46.
Folks. Let me tell you about an internal clock. Let me tell you about a clock in my head. How awful would that be if I just constantly updated the time at like every 2 minutes? Like not even, I mean, if I did it in a half an hour, that's one thing. But I mean, to do it like every 2 minutes and just go, holy Christ, it's 3:47. Everybody be like, Jesus, that makes sense.
God, it is.
Ha ha! Look at that, folks. Lily doesn't know her colors or her numbers. I know all the numbers. I know enough numbers for me and Lily. Both. You do not. All right. Are you colorblind? You're not colorblind, are you?
No.
No. My brother was colorblind. My older brother. Martin Luther King. Made me laugh. But the content of his character, unbelievable. Oh my God, was it great. So good. So in the early days, Lily would she was all about being a producer, and she would have a legal pad, and she would get a marker, a Sharpie, and she would sit there and listen to me talk, and she would start taking notes. And I didn't know what the fuck she was doing at first, and it turned out that she was taking phrases that she could use as titles for the show, and I loved it. I mean, because it really struck me as kind of adding a note of professionalism to this nonsense. You know what I mean? Where because I'm just fucking, literally just a word geyser. All I'm doing is I'm just fucking blowing words all over. It's just a fucking word bukkake, and you guys are sticky at the end of it. But she was keeping it all kind of reined in with her Sharpie and she would wear like a little skirt and have glasses on, and she would bite the Sharpie while I was talking, and that was always a fun thing to turn around and look at. She was like Mrs. Hotchkiss, literally. Because I mean, when Lily gets all dolled up and she wears like a man's dress shirt with her tits out of it and her fucking short skirt, and she's got her legs crossed with high heels on, and she's got a fucking Sharpie in her mouth. God damn it, she looks like somebody in Playboy drew her. It's fucking amazing. And I don't mean Vogel, that fucking hack. Is that his name, Vogel? Vargas? Who's that dude? I don't know what the fuck he is. Those are awful. They're just really tragically bad. Well, you love them because they're kitschy, right? Aren't you like, oh, yay, 70s Playboy? But nobody's like, wow, that's good art. That's like Leroy Neiman. Holy shit, is that a mess? That guy paints with a blowgun. It's fucking terrible. It looks like he drank a cup of paint and then vomited on a canvas. All of his stuff is garbage. He's like, hey, take a look at these dots. It's Muhammad Ali. Fuck you, Neiman. Back to the grotto, you dumb fuck. Just because you're Hefner's friend doesn't mean I got to like your art, but Hefner keeps putting it in there. Shave that stupid mustache, Neiman. He just died, didn't he? I think he did. Died of paint lung. See, that's what you get when you drink it and you cough it up and you fucking paint that way. God damn it. Paint with a fucking blowgun. All right. How did I get into that? Why did we start talking about that? Because you love fucking Vogel so much.
I don't love Vogel.
You do.
I like
Vogel's your
Morgan.
guy. Same dude. Who cares? You know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I meant.
No one understands.
No, I mean and Playboy's when I was a kid, Playboy was Playboy, but now it's fucking ridiculous. Why? What's the point? And then you look back on it. You know what's funny? Go to YouTube. There was like Richard Dawson hosted a Playboy Mansion thing on ABC, and it's funny when you watch it. You go, they wouldn't even air that now. I mean, and they show a ton of shit. They show Mark Cuban telling guys, "No, I don't want to fund your paperclip factory." I mean, it's like. They put on these stupid fucking shows where they're like, hey, guys, who wants to go over a waterfall in a paper canoe? Yes, I do. But now, if they said, hey, man, do this show from the Playboy Mansion that a fucking game show host would host and they go, no. They'd say no, which is too bad because then you could see Vogel at work. Oh, he's amazing. Get a behind-the-scenes look at Vogel and his business. You don't want to see the Vogel business. No, it is grim. Vargas, I know, whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares.
Oh.
Really, you feel bad for Vargas? Right now, there's a garage sale somewhere in this country that is selling coasters with that little fucking woman that he draws on it. So, I mean, don't feel bad for Vargas at this point. He's got more money than you and I combined. That's not much. Jesus Christ. We could walk out and grab two guys on the street who got more money than you and I combined. I don't know. That was not, there's nothing impressive at all. You know what? It sounds to me like Vargas isn't doing as well as I thought. Jesus Christ. I thought Vargas was doing very well, but he's got more money than you and I combined. That's nothing, Vargas. We got to take that guy. You know what? Grab your gun. We got to take Vargas for all he's got. We got to go because you got a gun, right? And you know where it is?
Yes.
And you know how to use it? Okay, I just want to clarify. I just want to make sure.
I'm using it for evil.
What? That's not evil. Look, it's about time Vargas. He's had a good run. Vargas has had a good run. We got to find him and just give him a fucking lead bouquet and go, done, Vargas. And then we take that money and we fucking abscond. We disappear. And you know what? You can wear a Candy Loving mask and I'll wear a Barbie Benton mask. No. Perfect. We'll get away with it.
No.
Because we'll sneak right into the grounds. We'll sneak right into the goddamn grounds. It'll be perfect. You can dress up like fucking Dorothy Stratton and I'll be Eric Roberts. We'll show up and fucking clean house on the whole goddamn mansion. Because what's Hefner? He's like 97 years old now. He has no clue. We could show up. As long as we bullshit our way past two security guards, Hefner's going to be like, oh my God, it's good to see Dorothy Stratton and Paul back. That guy's bound to be fooled. He's waiting to be taken. I wonder what the Playboy Mansion is. Have you been there? Because you run in those circles.
No, I sadly have not.
You've been friends with Vargas for a long time. You guys are so close. I can't believe that you've been friends and now you're willing to take him out, like with a gun. We're going to make our own pain and gain.
I'm not gonna rob him.
Dude, we're going to totally clean house on Vargas with your gun, and then in 10 years, Michael Bay's going to make a movie about it, like a new Pain and Gain. It's called Tits and Schmitz. This case is happening. We're taking Vogel out.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right. That'll be perfect. The Rock can play me.
Oh my Christ.
All right. So, I can't even, because I mean, if you haven't been there, I can't even imagine the place. Because like we saw Graceland. You know what? We went to Memphis. Did I ever tell that story? One time we, say it again.
We didn't go to Graceland.
No, you and I did not go to Graceland yet. Again, grab that gun.
I've been to Graceland too.
Yeah, grab that gun. We can make this happen.
We're not. No.
Yeah, Graceland's in Memphis, right?
Yes.
Yeah, my brother got shot there.
Oh my God.
The content of his character was all over the stairs. I fucking love me. You can't stop me. That poor guy got the Vargas treatment.
Oh my God.
All right.
It hurts, Mommy.
I'm serious, and I'm going to say this. I should never do another podcast. Like, honestly, the content of his character was all over the stairs. Should have been the final thing I ever said, and then we just uploaded it and we're done. Forever. I have to go and start a whole new incarnation. Like, I got to start like a real business podcast or something. Like, not even, no more comedy ever again, because I'll never say anything funnier than that. Just fucking hang up my comedy fucking guns or whatever the fuck. All right. God damn it. That's funny. That's really funny. Occasionally I will say something that even makes me go, yeah. And that was good. All right. And to call back the brother. God damn it, folks. Look who you're dealing with. A professional. With my gun-toting, big-titted chick by my side. All right. But yeah, man, we were in Memphis and we drove through. I think I had to tell that fucking story. It was me, Max, and Jeff, and it was the three of us. You know what? I have to tell that story. Well, part of it. It's funny because we drove from Chicago to Beaumont, Texas, and we went to go see my buddy Davo, who's Jeff's brother. I talked about Davo on here. Davo was the guy. Davo and Jeff came to visit me, and we went into Mrs. Fields. I told that story in here, right? We were in West Hollywood because Karen and I were, because again, my wife, still, pending signature, my wife and I took Davo to, like, literally Davo came to town and she's like, oh, let's go show him Lucille Ball's house. I told that story in here. That was her whole thing. Whenever anybody came from out of town, she wanted to show them where Jimmy Stewart and Lucille Ball lived. Yeah. And it was just like, I don't understand, unless we're planning a heist, which, I mean... As we are now.
You're not.
Well, let me finish that thought, too, because I was talking about the Playboy Mansion, and you said you haven't been there. I can't even imagine it being an impressive place. I mean, there's got to be a lot of flesh around, which is great. But then inevitably you're going to fucking see Holly Madison and her dog, and you're just going to want to fucking flee in terror because that chick is a fucking robot, to quote my friend Paul Goebel. Because I would say robot, but Paul Goebel insists on saying robot. Now, this is a thing I learned from Paul Goebel. They used to be called robots. It was not robot. It was robot. And I was like, and I thought it was another. I'm like, whatever, a king of nothing. You know what I mean? Like you and your fucking ridiculous nonsense trivia that you're dropping on me. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Stop it. See, now you're gonna taint it and make it sound. Because I mean, I was just with Paul and go. All right. I'll talk about Paul. Since do you think I'm some sort of bad thing that I'm saying about him? I was just with him in Portland. I have never seen my friend Paul Goebel happier than he is right now in his life. I mean, he is so. I can't explain it. He made me laugh, and you laugh and you enjoy yourself, and I appreciate it because I need it. You know, I kind of feed off of it, and that's cool. But Paul Goebel wants to laugh so badly, and when he does, he roars. I mean, he is such. It's just fun to see. To make him laugh is so fun, and the fact that he's kind of an easy laugh right now because he's kind of enjoying his life a little bit. It's so great. We were hanging out in Portland, and we would say things, and he would just fucking roar and with laughter. He went up at a bar. All right. Fuck. I don't want. If I get into this, I should just talk about Portland, but I don't want to do that because I'm starting to finish a thought about you and I going to kill some dudes.
I don't think we should talk about us going to kill people because that is not going to happen.
You say that now.
Never.
Okay, well, I'll give it a month. We'll see. Once you realize that Vargas has more money than you and I combined. My point is that Playboy Mansion cannot be impressive. Like Graceland was not impressive. Like we didn't take the tour because we didn't have any time. Basically we stopped in Memphis. We saw the Lisa Marie jet. We saw we saw Graceland from the gate. And then we went and had a peanut butter and banana sandwich at the Rockabilly Cafe. That's what we did. That was our time in Memphis. It was me, Jeff, and Max. But what the funny thing is, we had mythologized Elvis so much in our brains, and we're like Elvis and Graceland, and it's fucking amazing. And you pull up, and it's a house. Like it's not even like a mansion or a palace. It's a fucking ranch house or like a duplex. I don't even know what you call them because I'm never going to own a house in my life. And isn't that a weird thought? I mean, you're always told when you're a kid, oh yeah, you'll grow up and you get a house and you'll have babies and all that kind of shit. I'm never gonna have any kids except for Bomb Pop and Chinese Rick, who I'm gonna have to buy from some fucking Chinese dissident. But then I will never have a house to bring them to. I've come to grips with that. Like in my brain, this, and it's so weird to say, I would need to win a lottery of some sort to actually purchase a house. And when you were a kid, that you're always, because we always had a house when we were kids. We had a house in Romeoville, and then we wound up in apartments for a while, but then we wound up at other houses and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how my mom got houses. I mean, we got help from my uncle and aunt, my Uncle John and my Aunt Marge. But I don't know if they co-signed or if they put money down. But we always had a house. Like we would get houses. It was so weird.
Easier to buy a house than you think.
Yeah. Said you and I from the oldest building in Hollywood.
I've owned two.
I know you've owned 2 houses. You had a condo, and I understand that. It's just and once I did research on when the housing bubble and it broke and all that stuff in 2008, I was reading about what they were doing and what you had to get a house, and I could have bought a house in like 2007, 2008 when I was writing on Saints Row and writing on shows because I had a ton of money in the bank and I had employment and I could show them. And in Hollywood, I will tell you this too, in this town, this is the one town where you can actually go in and go, oh yeah, I'm in the entertainment industry. And they go, oh, okay, that's good. And then they put that down and that's going to be your job and it's going to apply toward you getting a house. Because like if you're in Iowa and you're like, yeah, man, I'm a poet. They're going to be like, well, guess who's not getting a soybean farm? Jesus Christ. Go write a sonnet about the fucking duplex you'll never own. But here, it's totally different because, like, you could just go, "Hey, I'm a magician," and they're like, "That's great. Where do you work?" I mean, it's the stupidest thing in the world because I will do that. I'll tell people, like, you're in the entertainment industry, and I mean, I've gotten car loans and put that on the car loan. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in the entertainment industry. What do you do?" "I'm a comedian." "Oh, okay, cool. Sign here." What the fuck? Are you kidding? And granted, it's because I had all this, good credit and stuff built up anyway. Uh, but you could sit down and just create numbers. Like you just say, "Oh yeah, we make this much," and they're like, "Okay, that's great." I will say you're probably right about the house thing because I was genuinely astonished every time I went in to buy a car. I could not believe when I drove away with the car. I even having amazing credit and knowing what my credit score was, knowing it was high, and having purchased 3 cars before on my name, every time I would go in there, and I've talked about it on here, where it's just the hassle, the fucking slog, where you got to sit there with 3 dudes in ill-fitting ties eating popcorn as they try to crunch numbers, and you try to save $11 a month. It's the dumbest fucking thing. Give me the goddamn car, you dumb asses. As you sit here and you haggle, and because that's just a job for haggle man. I mean, I got nothing for those people at all. I just want to go in and give them what they want so I can drive away with my car. And I had my wife pending signature. She was there with me, and she did all the dirty work. And she actually kind of relished it. Like, she was into it. And they would go and walk away and reconnoiter, and she'd look at me and go, "Okay, here's what we're going to do." And she was fucking on the ball. She was great. We never had to buy the True Coat when my wife was at my side. And now she's left, and I'm practically going to trade my car for magic beans. I mean, it's like I have no idea how the real world works. She used to take recycling back, and she would get money for recycling. I have three huge garbage bags now of empty water bottles at my house. And I'm staring at them because I don't know where they go. I would throw them in the garbage except I know that they're worth money, but I don't know where the recycling center is that she went to. I have no clue. So I kind of almost want to call her and go, "Hey, where can I get $9 for these plastic bottles?" That's how pathetic it is. But that weird shit is happening where I don't know what the fuck to do. It's like I'm eating everything in the cabinet, and I'm going, "Okay, well, I've got this." And I will tell you this, man. She came and took some stuff. Did I talk about this? She came and took stuff like a fucking couple months ago, or 6 weeks ago, and I told her, I was like, "You're gonna take your shit, right?" And she's just like, "Yeah." Well, I didn't say it that mean. That sounds rude. I've been very respectful and above board with this entire thing. So I was like, "Hey, man, take whatever you're gonna take. That's fine." And I said, "The only thing I really want is what was it I wanted? Oh, the Vitamix. I wanted to keep the Vitamix because I make protein shakes and stuff." And she's like, "Okay," but I mean, I didn't think she was gonna start taking stuff. Like, I mean, to me, because we got fucking cabinets of plates and bowls and forks and nonsense and china and all this Christmas shit. All this, take that stuff. You know what she took? She took my rice cooker. And I'm not joking. I think that's the only thing she took. And she took it a month ago, and what was funny is then the bombings happened in Boston, and they said it was that, and I was like, "Wait a minute." I thought it was like an elaborate frame-up. I couldn't wait to get home and see if my backpack was still there, just in case. But yeah, man, she took the rice cooker, which is like the only kitchen thing I know how to work. I know how to work the microwave and the rice cooker. And we have a toaster oven that you gave us, I think, right? And she used to use that thing all the time. That is a fucking monolith. That literally, there are monkeys pawing it right now in my kitchen because it's the opening credits of 2001. I'm sure it's fantastic because she cooks stuff in it all the time, but I don't have a fucking clue. I mean, to me, it's a silver box. That's what it is. And I could probably put more stuff in it, like get this off the shelf, get this off the cabinet, stuff it into the toaster oven, and get it out of my fucking eyesight. I'm tired of looking at this fucking binder that says Mr. and Mrs. Schmidt's recipes. I don't think I want that in here anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the toaster oven because I can't bring myself to throw it away just yet. As I open the junk drawer and I see things that belong to my wife, and I'm like, "Hey, I should throw that away. Why? Why? What? Don't know. Maybe she wants it. Maybe she wants that fucking wind-up pig from fucking Burger King because she collects Happy Meal toys, and I can't bring myself to throw them away." Because just in case that she wants them, because I know that will be the one issue that comes up, because she'll come in and I'll go, "All right, here's your china, here's your Christmas decorations, here's all the silverware. Do me a favor, let me 1 fork, 1 knife, and 1 spoon. Can we swing that? Is that possible?" I'll tell you what, if you just left me a spoon and a knife, I think I could make it work. I don't need the fork even. I really don't, because a spoon, it's got a little cuppy thing, it'll scoop it up and I can eat whatever. So go ahead and take whatever you want. And she's going to go, "Fantastic. I'm going to put this all in the car, but first, I really want to grab my Fievel finger puppet. Have you seen it?" Well, I don't. What the fuck are you talking about? My Fievel finger puppet. I got it from McDonald's when they re-released the American Tail DVDs. Remember that? I kept it in the junk drawer. It's my favorite spot. Oh my God, no! I threw it away. Oh my God, you know what? I'm taking you to court. So I can't bring myself to get rid of those things. And I say it's for that reason, but it's probably for other reasons as well. For the same reason I can't erase her shows off the TiVo. And I don't even know why. Because it would be rude to get rid of them. And I that sounds ridiculous, I'm sure. But what if she wants that TiVo? Because the TiVo is a hard drive. It's all it is. And if she wants to have It's a Wonderful Life and White Christmas and Obama's first inauguration and those things on there, then I should leave them on there, because eventually she will take that TiVo and she will enjoy those shows somewhere without me. So I can't bring myself to erase those just yet, because it would not be nice. It's not a nice thing to do. And believe me, these are the thoughts that go through my mind as I sit in a darkened apartment and I start flipping through and I go, hey, I get rid of that, right? Shouldn't I? And then then it spirals off, it spins downhill, where then you go, yeah, I remember I used to bust her balls all the time about how she had all this TiVo room and she saved these shows for no reason. And and now I would I could erase them any time now. Now I could go ahead and do it. But I can't. That would not be a nice thing to do.
Crazy.
I guess. Well, it's not like I'm cooking rice all day. I got that was taken off my agenda. I couldn't believe it. Who takes the rice cooker? I don't even know where she lives. I think she lives in a car at the beach, and she took the rice cooker. The girl doesn't even have electricity, and she took the fucking rice cooker. Are you kidding me? Left her jewelry boxes, but took the rice cooker. The only thing I think was it had a handle. That's the only thing I can think of, and that's why she took it, because it had a handle and she could carry it. Seriously. Why the fuck would you take the rice cooker? Why is that the first thing in your brain? Because honestly, that's like, is she Steve Martin? Maybe my wife is Steve Martin. Maybe she came in a fucking trench coat holding the dog and just grabbed and my rice cooker, and she fucking took it out and walked out. Because I'm genuinely not kidding when I say that's like the only thing she took. She took some clothes, and also and just did that. All right, I'm tired. I know you're sighing because I should stop talking about it. I get it. No, that's fine. I'll shut up. Yeah, no, you're right. Sighing is definitely the thing to do, and it'll get me back on track. By all means, make a mocking noise to make me realize that I'm talking too much about this. All right, so. Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, I guess I should be happy you're not shooting me. Instead, you're just sighing. So, because you have a gun, right?
I do.
And you know where it is?
Yes.
And you know how to use it?
I do.
Just want to make sure. But yeah, man, fucking Graceland was not impressive, and so I can't even imagine the Playboy Mansion is. It's just got to be like a normal Southern California house, but then he filled a garage with water and called it a grotto, right? I mean, that's kind of what it is, yeah. I just picture the whole place smells like Astroglide and dirty ashtrays. I mean, it's just, I can't even. I'm serious. I mean, and look, I don't live in any fucking palace, but at the same time, the Playboy Mansion is just a fucking, it's rutting headquarters. That's what it is. It's just, and I would go. I'm not turning it down. Believe me. Why are you looking behind me? What the fuck is happening? Is that where the gun is? Is the gun there? Am I gonna say the wrong thing and you're gonna go for it and you're gonna fucking put two in my head?
I can't look down, God.
I'm gonna get a double tap? That's not fucking good. We need to get invited to the Playboy Mansion. We need to figure out how to, like, a press pass for some bullshit thing, and you and I will go fucking hide in the finger blast room and then fucking take Hefner and Vargas for all they've got. That's it. That's the way it'll work. We'll go in there. We'll get invited because we're plus. Come on, don't tell me there's not a finger blast room in the fucking in the Playboy Mansion.
No, I don't think there is.
You have never been there. I refuse to take what you say.
Video, and I have friends that have been
Do
there.
you really think they're gonna film in the finger blast room? Of course they're not. Don't hold video evidence as your only proof of the finger blast room existing. They're not going to put a camera in the finger blast room.
Oh my God.
They're too busy in the game room with Richard Dawson and Snooker.
Oh.
All right, so that's what we got to do. That's our way to do it. We got to get press passes for some fucking media event there at the Playboy Mansion. You and I show up. You know what? It'll be just like Ford Fairlane when Dice showed up in his ridiculous clothes, and then he had Jazz, a.k.a. Lauren Holly, showed up, and she had, you know what she had on? Short skirt, high heels, men's dress shirt with her tits pushed up, and fucking glasses.
You have a look.
Oh, dude, I have a look. Yeah, that's crazy. No, forget about it. I will fuck up a man's dress shirt from fucking 30 paces.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. That's a serious
Oh.
fucking nothing else. Just look, skirt, heels, man's dress shirt, glasses, and fucking bun. I mean, all that works. But just man's dress shirt, like literally, and just fucked hair. Holy shit! Are you kidding me? All right, that would be my last meal in prison. I wouldn't even want food. I just want to bring a hot girl down in a men's dress shirt with just fucked
Your
hair.
last meal in prison is pussy.
Well, yeah, if they'll let it. But I'm saying I'm sure that they wouldn't even allow the physical contact, so I would just take the look. If I seriously, if I could call it, yeah, my last meal in prison would absolutely be pussy. I would eat some girl's fucking pussy until her head caved in. I wouldn't care. That would be another killing they could nuke me for. I wouldn't fuck. That's fine. She goes down. I go down and she goes down. Because her fucking skull caves in, and then I will tap dance down to the fucking electric chair. I don't give a shit. Gas chamber, firing squad, hang me. You can do it all at the same time. Tie a noose around my neck and dunk me in a fucking gas chamber, and I'll sit in an electric chair in it while you shoot me in the fucking head. Do all that as long as I get to eat pussy on my way out. That's fine. I'm in. But if they don't even let me get close, my last meal would just be to see a girl with fucking just a man's dress shirt and I just got fucked hair. I wouldn't care. That's it. I'm in. That is the image I would surf to hell. I would ride the fucking lightning out of here with that in my head. But it's never going to happen because we're going to fucking double tap Vogel and get the fuck out of there. We're not getting pinched. We are turning over the Playboy Mansion. We are, and the Michael Bay's going to make Schmitz and tits. It's going to be perfect. All right. So before all of this started, before Lily and I started our revenge scheme and we started to figure out how to make all this money, I was telling you that she's a producer, and when she started, she used to wear that outfit, and she would have like her fucking legal pad and her Sharpie and a Sharpie in her mouth. Oh, awesome. But my point now is that here we are, and we're in year 6. And is this show 2? I don't even know. Is this episode 2 or episode 3? It's episode 3 of year 6. And I start the show, and Lily has no legal pad and no Sharpie. And as I was talking in the middle of it, because I told you she used to like kind of take notes and have phrases and help me out later with the email blast and stuff. And as I'm sitting here talking, she got nothing. She's actually reading America's Yearbook, I think. And then she got up in the middle of it and went and found, I'm not even joking, it's like a coffee stained scrap of paper from the ground. But those aren't connected. You can pretend. She's like,
legal pads.
yes. How long have you had to get a legal pad?
Oh my god.
It used to be professional in here.
I ran out of legal pads.
Right. And now look where we're at. You're scrawling on some coffee-stained fucking Vogel. You know what? That's actually Vogel. That's a Vogel coaster. I see the girl on there. It's this tattered and torn piece of paper. It's just a mess. It's like, you know what it is? It's like an old Discover card bill. That's how fucking old this piece of paper is. It's that fucking old. Gee, I think it's, oh my God, it is. It's an old Diners Club bill. Jesus Christ. That is an old piece of paper. Buy a legal pad, for fuck's sake. I'll buy you a legal pad. I don't care. I am down to my last $800. I can afford $1 worth of legal pad for you, just so I can feel like I'm a professional on my final days of broadcasting. You know who could afford a legal pad? Vogel. Guy makes more than you and me combined. All right.
Oh my god.
What the fuck was I even talking about?
I have no clue. All I have is tits and Schmitz and tits.
Oh man. Well, that can't be the name of the show, unfortunately. Dude, it should be though. It really should be.
Oh my god.
So, but I had a point. We started talking about something. Legal pads, Graceland. I've talked about that on here, that trip. Because all right, we wound up. We're at Davo's house. was so fun. Is there ever Do you ever have any more fun than when you have no responsibility whatsoever, when you have nothing that you have to worry about or do? Because a lot of times when you go on vacation, you make that thing where you're like, all right, we got to go to Disneyland, we got to see Epcot tomorrow, and we got to go do this, and we got to have a fucking falafel. And I mean, it just turns into a mess because you got a big fucking list. Well, when we went to Beaumont, we didn't have a fucking clue of what we were going to do. We were just like, let's do this. Whatever the fuck happens, let's do it. And one day, we had a porn night one night. We wound up renting porns. It's so stupid. It's just so dumb. 4 dudes.
You rented porn.
We could have gone to strip clubs. We could have done fucking anything, but for some reason we rented pornos. You know why? Because, Mex was married and Jeff, I don't know if Jeff was dating anybody at the time. And was I with Karen yet? I think I might have been. So it wasn't we're going to go get fucking laid. Not that we were anyway. I mean, the fucking UN of Evil was not exactly fucking tagging and bagging him back then. Mex was out of commission for the time he was 11. I think he met Kristen when he was 11, and that was it. And I'm using names and ages, and I shouldn't be doing that. All right, so. But we went to Beaumont. We wound up renting porno, and we went into the store. It's so stupid. And we decided that we wanted to have an agenda. Like, we all decided to get different pornos. So, and I may get this wrong, and Max will fucking kill me, but if I remember correctly, Dave wanted one with just like the hottest girl possible. Like he wanted the hottest box that he could find. Jeff decided he wanted one with a plot. So he's like, all right, dudes, I'm going to find a fucking porno with a plot. And Max is just getting the hottest girl that he possibly can. And I decided I wanted something fucking weird.
Really?
Now, that could be wrong. Somebody else may have wanted the weird one. I don't remember. But regardless, among the 3 of us, we decided we were going to get one with the hottest box, the hottest fucking girl and the hottest box that we could find. We were going to get one that obviously had a plot. And then we were going to fucking crazy one, a weird one. So we're looking through. And I will say this. The internet has spoiled us because now you can go on the internet and you can find any fucking ridiculous scenario you possibly can imagine. If you want to see a woman getting DP'd by midgets while there's another midget inside of her colon trying to grab the other midget's cock as it goes in and out,
Oh my God.
you can find that. Just Google it. I'm sure it'll turn up immediately. You can find. You're gonna Google it, are you? You can find. I mean, if you want to see, and it's not even like like you were like, I want to see a woman fucking a deer. And you could actually Google it and find it. I guarantee it. You could find it. But back then, it took a lot of legwork. You had to walk. You had to go back, into the way back of the fucking video store. You had to walk to the saloon doors. And you had to fucking duck the perverts who were all in there waiting to jerk off. Because we weren't perverts. Obviously, we're there just because we're having fun. We're 3 guys who drove from Chicago to Texas to rent pornos. We've got it together, is what I'm saying to you folks. It's pretty obvious we're not your garden variety pervert, all right? We only drove 1,100 miles to make this happen. With a stop at Elvis's house on the way. That was the genesis of the trip. We're like, hey, dudes, let's just take off from Chicago for a while. Let's stop at Elvis's house, not go in. But take a look at it from the driveway. We'll have a banana and peanut butter sandwich, and then we'll drive to Louisiana and think we're going to die at every single moment. I don't know what you people are doing in Louisiana. I was just there, actually. I'll tell you, I just made my second appearance in Louisiana. It's an appearance. That's what I did. I got off the plane, snapshots, and I was like, hey, come on. I was like Bill Murray in Stripes at the end. A party for me. All right, so I was just in Louisiana a couple of months ago, and I know people because people still ask me like, hey, can you talk about that yet? I can't. I just found out this week because I actually contacted somebody, and I'm like, hey, is this? Can I? Because there's and it's not even a big story. It would be something I could tell you. It's and I was told no. So there you go. So you have to settle for this anecdote about Louisiana. We were driving. We drove from Chicago down through and I should tell you this: when I say we, all right, let's clarify that. It's me, Dave, and Jeff in the car, and between Chicago, I'll say round trip, it's got to be 1,600 miles. That's my guess. Maybe more. From Chicago to Beaumont, Texas. So we had to go straight down and you go through, and we wound up going through Louisiana. Now we're driving, all right? And it's that thing where you map it out, and it's the old days again, no internet, no GPS. So you mapped it out, and you got the fucking almanac or whatever that's called. You know, that could be explained why we got lost. We used an almanac. Jesus Christ. We were driving listening to Poor Richard. We should have been listening to Random McNally. What the fuck is wrong with us? Ben Franklin doesn't know where I'm going, motherfucker. So we're driving. We're using the Atlas. And so when I say that we drove, of the 1,600 miles, I think Jeff drove 1,400 of them. That's a careful estimate. It could have been more, quite frankly, because Jeff drove, and then Dave spelled him a little bit, if I remember correctly, and I don't know what the fuck happened, folks. I drove, like I got behind the wheel to drive. I think I drove 20 miles, maybe. I mean, that's being generous. And I started to yawn and I started to fall asleep. Like I was just like, dudes, I can't handle this. And they're like, are you serious? They go, yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't drive. So Jeff drove like the rest of the way. And then when we drove home, we were going to split the driving. Jeff started. Jeff drove the entire way home. We stopped twice for gas and coffee, and that was it. And he just rampaged. I couldn't believe it. So we were driving from Chicago to Beaumont, Texas, and we were on highways. It seemed to be everything was fine. I mean, everything seemed to be going okay. We were getting along, and we're driving on highways, and then we hit Louisiana, and the United States interstate highway system suddenly disappeared. And we wound up on these side roads, just populated by fucking roadkill and alligator men. I mean, it was just fucking, it was terrible. I can't even, and it's funny now because every time you turn on the Discovery Channel or the Travel Channel, someone walked into an office of a production company, and this was their pitch. All right, this was the pitch for every channel, everything you see now on Discovery or the Travel Channel. They walked in, they sit down, and they go, Louisiana. Sold! Because, look, Florida's fucking crazy, and we know that. But it's too crazy to put on TV. Louisiana's like Florida's little brother. It hasn't gotten fucking crazy psycho just yet, but it's on the way. It's getting there. They got guys noodling catfish and dressing up in fucking alligator suits and all sorts of bullshit in Louisiana. So we're driving, and there was a highway, which was great, and it's me, Dave, and Jeff. And then, out of nowhere, we're on some dirt road. And as we drive, it was this weird thing where I've never seen it before, and I haven't seen it since. It was as if we were driving on the highway, and then we turned left into a dictionary. And we drove through the definition of poverty. It was the fucking weirdest thing because all of a sudden everything was great. It was like the sun was out and everything was fine. And the next thing you know, we're driving down a street where people, almost like it was in Borneo or something, people are coming out of smoking sheds. That like there's these fucking, not even houses, there's sheds, like almost like tar paper shacks. And as we were driving, people just emerged out of ditches and out of the woods. It was like an Escape from New York when they tell them the crazies are coming out to feed and everybody has to hide because the crazies, and guys run around and they tap on manholes and then the guys climb out to go look for food. That's what it was like. And these people, clad in rags, came out of their tar paper shacks, and there were clotheslines in every yard that ran from like the mailbox thing to the tree. Like, and I in my head, and I'm probably not, I don't think I'm far off here. Look, I'm a genius, so I think this is right. I think they hung their clothes closer to the road because when cars went by, it would cause more of a breeze. Because everybody had their clotheslines close to the road. It was the only reason I could think of. And they would just have these soulless eyes, and they would come out and stare at us, this weird Children of the Corn vibe. I mean, all of them were there. And I, to the point where David and Jeff and I were looking around, we're like, we got to hustle like through here. Like, we don't want to speed. Because obviously Sheriff Buford T. Justice is going to throw away his Diablo sandwich and his Dr. Pepper and hop in and fucking chase us across state lines. But we knew we had to fucking kind of pick it up and get the hell out of there. And also, Dave's Mexican, so he was like, what's going to happen if we get pulled over here? Have they even seen one of me here? Because, again, it was before the internet, folks. That was probably why they're coming out. They were looking and they just saw this completely different complected guy, and he was sitting in the front seat. They're like, why is he sitting in the front seat? We actually had that discussion. Hey, shouldn't Mex be in the trunk or in the back seat? Because obviously he's the lesser then, right? That's because we didn't know. We didn't know how it worked. All I know is we were driving and everything was fine on the highway, and then the next thing you know, I was on the fucking set of Southern Comfort. It was crazy. Although we did see the Love Shack there. I knew it was the Love Shack, of course, because it had a tin roof that had rusted. Yeah, stupid. Yeah, because the Love Shack's in Georgia, right? Not in Louisiana. See, that's the problem. We were in Georgia. Oh, my God. Check out, again, folks, no GPS. We were going straight Atlas. That's why it took so long to drive. We went down through Georgia. Oh, man. Well, you know who else went down to Georgia?
Really?
Yeah. He was looking for a soul to steal. I can't. I have to do that. It's so funny, like, because I was listening to a song on the way over, and in my head I was like, well, I can talk about that song on the air, and I'm like, why are you doing that? You wind up talking about songs constantly. That's all. It's like the show is all song lyrics. Like half the show is song lyrics. But I have to talk about it because, I mean, look, we all know Ted Nugent is a jackass, right? He's just an idiot. But he still has written, like, been involved in, like, good songs, at least for me. I know some people hate them, and that's fine. But I was listening to the song Coming of Age by Damn Yankees in my car. That, I'm going to go so far as to say that, like, the first verse of that song, you can actually jerk off to. Like, it sounds weird. Well, seriously though, but I mean, it's
Really?
well, first of all, it's Tommy Shaw's. No, seriously, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. You could do that, and not just stay awake. We've all jerked off in a car to stay awake, fine. But you don't tell me you have not, because you are a liar.
No,
You-
I have never jerked off to stay awake.
No, you've just done it though. I mean, let's be honest.
Holy Christ.
Dude, I used to jerk off to stay awake all the time when I was driving down the road. Oh, brutal.
I don't want to hear this.
Oh man, it had to happen. What? Look, man, when you've got the windows rolled all the way down, you got the radio cranked up, and you're slapping yourself in the face to stay awake, you'll do anything at that point to avoid winding up in a ditch. But the worst part of it is, though, what if you jerk off to stay awake and then you still crash into the ditch? Then it looks even worse. Then, you know what? That's true. That's a risk I shouldn't have taken, because then they're going to be like, hey, he was jerking off and he crashed. Well, no, I was jerking off so I wouldn't crash. But unfortunately, I still crashed. I just happened to be jerking off at the time. So, the fuck was I talking about? How did I start that? I don't know. Oh, damn Yankees. Dude, the fucking phrase, and again, this is going to sound so terrible to all of you, but it's just the couplet of it is, dressed to kill, looking dynamite, with her high leg stockings and her sweater so tight. I asked her name. She said her name was Maybe. Oh, come on. That's awesome. There's no way Nugent was in the room when they wrote that. That was all fucking Tommy Shaw and Jack Blades. Nugent was off field skinning a boar. They wouldn't let him in when they were writing the lyrics. He was off in a duck blind for 4.5 days, and they fucking came up with that album and just wrote it. He came in and laid down some fucking licks. Because if he was writing the lyrics, he would have thrown in something about a crossbow and fucked the whole thing up. She's got a sweater. She's got stockings on. You don't need to shoot her with a fucking bolt, all right? It doesn't need to have to happen. Crossbow bolt. A bolt. All right. How the fuck did I get into that?
Music. Quoting sentences. From songs.
So we're in Louisiana. And we actually kind of like double clutched, like, Jesus, what the fuck's happening here? It was so weird. They came drifting out. It was terrible. And then we wound up in Beaumont, Texas, and we played. We were in the pool. It was me, Davo, Jeff, and Max, and we played volleyball in the pool. But like, dude, it was like 100 degrees in fucking Beaumont, Texas, and we had nothing to do but play volleyball in the pool, and it was the greatest. I haven't done it. I think that was the last time I did that, where I actually kind of was in a pool to have fun. I know that sounds stupid, Like when you were a kid, you would go in the pool and you would just exhaust yourself. You would do, you play fucking Marco Polo or jump or dive or throw a football around like a psychopath. That was fun. And then you grow up and you forget all that shit. Well, you don't forget it, you just don't do it anymore. I should start doing it again. That's what I should really do. As if my apartment complex already doesn't know how to fucking deal with me now. I'm going to show up and do midnight swims. Hey! um, so, so we get to Texas, and I don't even know why we decided to get pornos. I have no idea. But we decided we were going to get 3 different ones. We were going to get a hot box. We were going to get the fucking plot. And then we were going to get a weird one. So we find the hottest box, and then Jeff picked. I think it was set in a hospital. I mean, like literally some there was. I think the word intrigue was on the box, and that was it for us. We were like, all right, if a porno has intrigue, there has to be a plot. Ergo, this is the one to choose. So we go ahead and pick that. So I'm looking through, and again, like I said, you're spoiled by the internet, because if you want to find anything, you can Google it, and it's going to be on there. British women who fuck men in Japanese cars in the woods. Done. That is 12 keystrokes away. At any time you want, right now you can go ahead and find that. But in the old days, you had to get your hands dirty, man. You had to go back in the back room, and you had to go through the swinging saloon doors, and you had to bend over and kind of get on the bottom shelf where nobody looks. Because they have eye level, that's the ones that always get rented. But down below, there's those boxes that haven't seen the light of day in quite a while. And they'd be covered with that thin layer of grime. You hoped it was grime, you weren't sure. But you had to touch it, you had to pick it up, and you had to look at the box and go through. In the old days, it wasn't. You actually had to have like a trench coat. I remember I talked about guys that are in there in trench coats like they're perverts and they're jerking off. Well, I had to actually put a trench coat on and carry a magnifying glass like a detective, like an old school detective. That's how I had to go through. The 3 of us, we just kind of put on like fucking Sherlock Holmes hats, and we carried magnifying glasses to find the worst porn that we possibly could in this store. And we found it. I think it was called Dar She Blows. I don't remember. But I do know the star of the porno was a woman named Long Jean Silver. And we saw it on the box, and it was about pirates and all that kind of stuff. But also, there was one attribute about Long Jean Silver that I had never seen in a porno, and I was interested to find. And it certainly fit under my qualification of weird. Long Jean Silver missing a leg. Long Jean Silver has a peg leg. And on the box, it was kind of like vague, where they were kind of like all that weird, like, in a shanty town there be Long Jean Silver and her peg leg o' fun. And so I'm going, I don't know if that's for real or if it's like going to be a trick, but it didn't matter. Just the very fact that they were kind of saying that there might be some sort of amputee porn, the 3 of us are like, done, in, absolutely. We don't even give a fuck about the other 2 with the plot and the great box. If this pays off the way we think it's going to pay off, we are in. Long Jean Silver, it is. So we rent the 3 of them and we go back to the house. And again, I have no idea why we decided to rent pornos. Mex might know. Mex will tell me. But it's just, when I think about it now, it's just like we drove 800 miles to play beach volleyball and watch pornos. It's like, and not even beach volleyball, pool volleyball. And we played all day. Goddamn, we played all day. We were fucking roasted, but it was awesome. It was so fun. So we get the pornos. We get back to the apartment. And we're trying to decide the order. Are we going to watch the hot one first, or are we going to watch the one with the plot first? But if I remember correctly, we just went, we got to throw in Long Jean Silver and see how this plays out.
Oh, God.
And we threw it in. And look, we're all familiar with 70s porn, right? I mean, it's just horrible couches and a lot of hair everywhere. And big-ass mustaches. And hairy reams in his jaw.
Yeah.
So, that's fine. That's all. That's the famous 70s porn. That's the 70s porn that Dave Attell has on his Showtime show. Which is called, I think, Old Porn, right? Or That Old Porn, or Dave's Old Porn. Okay, so that's fine. But imagine that aesthetic done as cheaply as you possibly can. All right, because they're they used to do just stag films, which are just loops, which are just people in a bedroom fucking, and then that was it. Well, this was a step above stag loop because it was on, but it had it was probably a fucking stag film that they just put on a videotape, and it was just in this like green bedroom. It was so awful and so depressing. And a guy walks in, and there's fucking Long Jean Silver, and she's got like a fucking she got her legs and she's on the bed, but it's very clearly she has a prosthetic leg, and they start going at it, and then he unsnaps it and it comes off, and she's got half a leg, which is exactly what we wanted. So it's like we're watching it, and then the fucking prosthetic, and we're just like, yes, victory. That's exactly what we were looking for. Fucking crazy amputee porn. I'm in. I hadn't seen it up to that point, and now I'm in. Until Long Jean Silver decides that she doesn't want to take in every scene. Long Jean Silver is a giver. And I don't mean head. Although that was in evidence as well too, but in this shady, horrible, darkened green-blue bedroom in whatever country it's legal to fuck a girl with one leg and film it. I was sitting there with Mex and Jeff, and we saw it unfolding. We saw it happening, and it was this thing where we were denying it. We just, the three of us collectively are just like, no, that's not happening. But sure enough, the guy who had heretofore at this point been in like a straight missionary position with our friend Long Jean Silver, did a 180, flipped around, and went face down, ass up. And it's unfolding, and we're just horrified. We're like, no, I did not drive 800 miles to see some guy on the wrong end of an amputee's stick. I am not here for this. Long Jean Silver starts lubing up her stump. And we're going, this is not going to happen. And I think we actually held hands. I think the three of us, we were hoping to will it out of existence. We're like, no, this could never possibly be a thing, right? This is not going to happen. But we could have hit stop at any time. That's the best part. We could have stopped. We could have rewound it. But no, we were sucked in. We were sucked into the pirate sex vortex. We had to watch it unfold. So sure enough, this guy's face down, ass up, and then fucking Long Jean Silver just draws her fucking leg back and stump fucks this guy. Stump fucks this guy right in front of God and everyone. Oh my word. And to this day, I doubt the validity of the stump fucking. I will not lie to you, folks. There was a lot of lube going on, and they would cut to his face and her face, and they showed like her leg moving, but I don't think we ever saw actual penetration via the stump. Because, I mean, that guy would have had to been tricked out something fierce. I mean, we're talking like 2-car garage room. I mean, because this is just, it's an actual stump. It's bigger than any cock you've ever seen. I mean, Long John, it hadn't atrophied to the point. I mean, it's an actual fucking leg, but just missing the foot part.
Oh my
god! And plus, he was making this face like he was just kind of like, oh yeah, like no, yeah, that's not a face you make if you're getting stump fucked. I don't think I've ever seen the face you would make when you were getting stump fucked. Really? Well, I can tell you this guy was not making it. But the three of us are just staring at the screen and horrified by it. And because it was all fun and games. Again, it was all fun and games. When you're out there, you're picking it out, and you bring it home, and you're like, hey, pirate porn, it's going to be fucking hilarious. And then You and two of your lifelong friends are sitting way too close together on a couch, watching a guy about to get stump fucked. You know what? I think I know why those people in those Louisiana towns were so haunted. I think they had a drive-in theater, and the only movie they were showing was Long Gene Silver stump fucking a dude. I remember just us watching it, just like, no, 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 no.
Oh my god.
But we watched it unfold, and we saw Long Gene Silver stump fuck a guy. And it's funny because the three of us were so adamant about getting 3 separate pornos with a plot and a hot girl and a weird one. When really, when you bring home the weird one, it had everything all in one. I mean, it had a hot girl who just happened to have 1.5 legs, and the plot was because she could fit one of those legs in a guy's ass.
Oh my god.
That was a fun trip. It was Beaumont, Texas. My buddy lived in a nice condo, Davo, but as people who live in Florida will tell you, you know, and you know this, Lily, you have relatives in Florida, I think. Bugs are out of control in Florida. I mean, you could have the nicest fucking house, you're still going to get them just because of the weather. And that's how his condo was. And in the middle of the night one night, Jeff walked into or no, it might have been Dave. I forget who the fuck it was. Jesus Christ, I shouldn't have started this story. I should call David to check the fucking facts. One of us walked into the bathroom, and there was a roach the size of a skateboard on the fucking sink. Just like whoever walked in was just like, holy shit, and we saw it, and you could actually hear its antennas going like waving around as it was on the fucking sink looking. And because it didn't run, like, you know, you open the door and it just looked up like, yeah, seriously, what are you going to do? I will stump fuck your ass, motherfucker. Because the antennas were just as big as Long Gene Silver's legs, just waving in the fucking air. Crazy fucking roach. Jesus Christ, that was huge. And then we saddled it up and Jeff drove it home, 800 miles. He's a trooper. Stopped twice for coffee and gas. You guys can get me at Mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can be our friend David Hernandez, who does all of the artwork and the music for this show. Be his friend at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. Be his friend and ask him. He's going to know more than I did about that story. And, although he may have blocked Long Gene Silver out of his mind completely. I have no idea. He's a family man. Leave him alone. He's a family man, all right? His bark is much worse than his bite.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not afraid to bring it back. You guys can follow our friend Lily Von Stupp at Twitter on 3 different accounts. You can get her at Lily Von Stupp, Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, Twitter.com/MNTs, and Twitter.com/FNHappyHour. And follow her on Twitter. You can be your friend at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. And if you want to write her a personal note and find out how many men's dress shirts I've ruined during the course of this show as she wore them, you can write her at Lily@burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
No, I'm doing something. I will. I'm doing something. As soon as I'm finished. Yes, I'm using a coaster. Fans of the 40-year-old boy, this is Parker from Pod Gods telling you to go to Zazzle.com/40-year-old boy. Zazzle.com/40-year-old boy. Please buy all this. Please buy all. Please. Stupid.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. Before we do that, let me ask you this. Who listens to this part of the show? Write me and tell me. Because part of me is like, do people? Because the end is always backloaded with the plugs and stuff like that. But in my head, I'm like, well, I'm still kind of funny in the plugs, but people might just fucking whack it because the show's over. But I have no idea. So it's I guess it's kind of a marketing survey to find out who listens and who doesn't to this stuff. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know why that came into my head. But you know what is always in my head and is right in the front of my skull? It's the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine with the Monday Night Teas that everybody loves, and also the FN Happy Hour, the Friday Night Happy Hour that is also controlled by the same woman. She's got a lot on her plate, folks.
I do.
But I'm hoping that she doesn't trip in her high heels and spill that plate on her men's dress shirt. That's our friend Lily Von Stupp. Hey, Lily, how are you?
Hi, Michael.
It's exciting to be in your house, I can tell you that, and not get shot.
Really?
And you think people won't notice,
I think
but they will.
Too much ball imagery for you in my house.
You think people won't notice.
Point it out.
You can be as cute and funny and all that as you want,
Point it out. You don't like my ball imagery.
but I'm telling you, people will notice. People notice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Last night at the Monday Night Teas show was the annual Madonna show, which was a huge success. I happened to be there working the door in my capacity of doorman, in my Clark Kent persona, working the door. How did you feel about the show last night, Lily?
It was wonderful. The
Yeah.
performers were amazing, as always.
Yes, it was great. And there was my first time seeing Madonna. I had not seen it before, but I enjoyed it very much, and all the girls were hot, and they did their dance. They did their dance quick. What's the word? Word up. But it was great. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a really good time. Lily hosted and did a fine job with that. And then we had people singing, and there was people dancing and stripping, and then there was hotness and crazy hotness. And I've talked about our friend Nikita Bitch Project on here before. I'm going to touch on this real quick. She was on the show last night, tore the fucking place down. And then after the show, she came up to me and was talking to me. Now, I've probably had 4 or 5 conversations with her at this point now. But by conversations, I mean I have stood there while she did whatever she was going to do in fast motion. And I tried to be charming or funny or interesting or find out more about her and ask her genuine questions about herself. And then she would titter and then start pulling on her pasties and sticking her tongue out at me. Like, I'm just like, really.
You make her sound so ridiculous.
Well, because she kind of is to a certain extent, but here's the thing. So yesterday she comes up to me and she had a microphone that was not attached to anything. It was a disembodied mic. And so she kept thrusting it in people's faces and fake interviewing them. And saying, I am a newscaster, and how are you? And I, people were supposed to talk and whatever. And you know me, I don't shy away from a microphone, whether it's hooked up or not. And the very fact that it's being held by an Asian stripper that's all I need to talk into it. So she holds it, and I started to be silly and just kind of have fun with her a little bit. And then she's kind of tittering, and she takes the microphone back, and I try to talk to her, and then she starts doing like more silly stuff, and finally she stops, and she's standing next to me, and there's, I would say, about a minute of silence amidst the club stuff, people getting pictures taken, there's music playing, there's all sorts of stuff, but she and I are standing next to one another. And like I said, this is about the 4th time I've talked to her, but I've never really talked to her, so I think we all know I enjoy awkwardness. So it's super quiet, and finally I just look at her. And I lean over and I put my hand on her back, and so to get her attention, and I go, I have no idea how to speak to you. And she said, what do you, oh, he, and starts tittering, and she goes, what do you mean? And I go, because I don't know who you are or what you do. Like, literally, you come here and you take your clothes off, and you've heard me on my show discuss what I felt about how you did that. I said, but now I'm trying to talk to you, and I can't, because you're kind of doing somersault. You're not even real. You're like you're like a unicorn. I mean, it's like weird. It's like having a conversation with a mythical creature or a cartoon character who just stepped out of a television. It's so strange. So I go, when I'm standing here in dead silence, please know that it's not that I don't have anything to say. It's that I don't think I have anything that you would want to hear. And there was more silence. And she looked at me and smiled. And it was a different kind of smile. It wasn't the smile that she had been doing to everybody else. But she looked at me for the first time like a person and just kind of smiled and said, "Oh, okay." And turned around and walked off. So I think the smile was enough to go like kind of like I pierced the facade a little bit and I saw behind Nikita Bitch Project and I saw Nikita Woman Project. I have no idea who's behind it. I have no clue. But I felt privileged to get kind of a peek behind the curtain for at least 2 seconds. Where I said something, and because you could see she almost straightened her shoulders up. Like it was almost like she wanted to show more of herself to me than she had at that point, and it was enough to see her make that different kind of face and just go, "Oh, okay," and turn around and walk off. So I was satisfied with that because I'm a fucking loser. I mean, what am I going to be not satisfied? Of course. But yeah, so that was interesting. But it was fun. So the show was really great. I hadn't seen it, and there's the Friday night happy hour coming up this week. Who's there this week?
Tito Benito, Dr. Lust, May Lust, Prita Boutte, Eddie's performing.
I need to know what that song was that Tito danced to last week. You can tell me. You don't have to tell me now. Tell me later.
It's a version of the Rich Man's Frug, isn't it?
Tito Benito he's a boylesque performer, so he's like a dude who takes his clothes off. And
Definitely maybe.
Okay, definitely maybe.
Yeah.
But he did an act that he had never done before. That's what he did last Friday. I was there working, and he was very nice. I talked to him beforehand before the show, and then he came out to dance. And the thing that's funny about him is Tito may enjoy the company of other men at some point. That's my guess.
He's gay?
That's my guess.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's only around me.
No.
I got the peek behind the facade of Tito Benito, folks, and I got a little bonus Benito. So, but he was really cool when we talked beforehand. But then he went out and he did his crazy dance. And I did all right, here's what I did. I did a dumb thing just to be silly. Lily was on stage and she was emceeing and she was like our headliner of the evening. She goes, "He is a boylesque performer." And everybody was kind of like, "Woo," and they clapped. And then she goes, "That means he's a man and he's going to come up and take his clothes off." And as it was at the door, and I threw my hands up in mock outrage and I stormed out because it made me laugh. And then I went back into the room when Tito started, and I sat in a bar stool as Tito made eye contact with me virtually the entire time he was on stage. Of course he did.
Because he watched you leave, and then he was like, "Fuck that."
Well, yeah.
He always picks out whoever he thinks is going to be the most uncomfortable.
But he knew
funny.
he knew what I was doing though. It was the
But he played right back with
But it was awesome. But it was fantastic. It was great, and the performance was great, and I loved the song, and it was just he was really good. But it made me laugh because it was just because I did that on purpose just to be silly. But then the funnier part to me was that he just he just made eye contact with me the entire goddamn time, which was funny. And we're dating, so that turned out to be not so bad. got even more bonus Benito. So that was great. He's here again this Friday.
Yeah, his mom's in town.
Okay. Well, how do I not make that show? I might have to just show up.
So he's like, "Hey, my mom hasn't seen me perform in a while," and I'm like, "You're on the bill. Let's do it."
Were you chomping a cigar in the 20s when you did that? That was great. All right.
I do that a lot.
That made me laugh. You're on.
I've become a 1950s club manager.
That's good. Nothing wrong with that.
It's ridiculous.
And then who's at this Monday night is a special theme show, right?
Monday Night Tease is where we, once and for all, one clothing removal at a time, prove who is the sexiest, scariest family horror creatures on TV from the 1950s. It is the Munsters versus the Addams Family.
Oh my Christ.
They're creepy and they're sexy.
Oh no, there's a song? Holy God. Wow. Well, I will be there for that. So that's going to be exciting. But
I will be there too for that.
yeah. Oh my God. That's just wow. You guys. That's an interesting theme.
Wait till you see.
Okay. Well, I was trying to think up themes for burlesque shows for our friend Lily. I was going, what about this? What about this? What about this? And she's like, it's been done.
That.
It's been
Just
done.
Like you like it when people tell you jokes.
It's been done. I'm trying to help. I'm helping. So there's the big show, The Addams Family and the Munsters, is this Monday, and so it's exciting. Please come out to the Monday Night Teas, and I'll be working the door. Come and say hi to me if you'd like. And even because I am working the door, I have direct control of the cash, which means if you smack Lily on the ass, you definitely get in free.
Are you gonna tell people that Patrick did that to you? Because that was awesome.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
When Patrick was hosting,
I have no idea what you're saying.
And he said,
I have no idea
by
what
the
this
way,
is. I don't know what you're saying.
If you want to, go over and smack Mike Schmidt on the ass and you can get a free download.
Yeah.
That made me laugh so hard.
Yeah. Our friend Patrick, he does listen. He's a little behind actually, because he came. Here's how because he came up to me. It was like 2 weeks ago, and he goes, "I'm behind in the show, but congratulations on the Wheel of Fortune. I'm glad that it went well for you. And how's Karen?" I said, "She's good." He's like, "All right, well, good. Please give her my best." "Oh, I will."
He's a little behind.
It's a little bit, but he'll catch up. Because I'll know because I'll get the email, which I get from people all the time now who stumble upon the IED, the Internet Explosive Device, which is out there. But although it's not anymore, we got to take that down. If people have downloaded it, they have it. But and please remember that. I'll tell you that now. Please remember to take down those shows. Thank you. So, folks, the Monday Night Teas, the Friday Night Happy Hour, all available. Go to brownpapertickets.com for any tickets that you want to purchase for those shows. All the information is available there as well. Also, go to MondayNightTeas.com for any and all information about the Monday night shows. Also, the Friday night shows. It is your one-stop shop for all things Von Stupp. Please go to Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy and be my friend. I would certainly appreciate that. Please go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page. There are all sorts of things that are available for you to purchase. We have some Red Boy shirts that are left. Not a lot of sizes left. They're just about out. But if you do want a t-shirt, go ahead and pick those up. Although I will tell you, I'm going to bring those to Detroit this weekend, and I would imagine not coming back with many. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you next week. Downloads are available, of course. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, and Year 5 of this show are available for download, $25 for each year, or you can buy the UN of Evil box set and get Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, and Year 5, all for the price of 4. That's right, folks. Or pick them out individually. Go ahead and get the Schmitty, go get the Woj, go get the Mex, go get the Stoolie. Or go get Evil Dennis. Well, all those are available right now. So if you go to the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com, you'll go ahead and pick those up and take those home. Please remember there is signed artwork available. Any artwork you would want from the show that you need signed, go ahead and write to us and go ahead and buy it, I should say. I'll get notified, and then you can let me know in the notes when you purchase it which print you'd like, or you can write me after the fact. There are people waiting on artwork right now. And I will tell you, once the flood happened in David's house, he's been very busy trying to put that together, dealing with insurance, getting his life back on track. And he's where it all starts because he has the artwork and he gets them to me. So that's why production has slowed down a little bit on the artwork. If you want a refund, you can write me and I'll go ahead and do that for you. That's not a problem. But if you can be patient for me, I would certainly appreciate it because we will get those to you very soon as we can. There is the Schmitty Comes Alive download is available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com on the Joe Business page. That's the $5 download of my show at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. And as of last week, we added the Life of Schmitty single, the For the Life of Schmitty single, which is from the interlude. It's about 7 minutes of me and actually 7 minutes of Max, and I happen to be on it. But that is available now as a $1.29, I think, is the price on that, like the singles you would get in the iTunes store. So T-shirts, tweakedaudio.com/40earbuds, mugs available at the Zazzle store. And I will tell you this, those are just about done. If you guys have any interest in a mug, which would shock me because you haven't had any interest in them up to this point, go ahead and grab them because I think those are going to be discontinued pretty quick. There's the Thorgar and Yeet mug and the Fireboy mug. Those are available through the Zazzle store. And so if you want them, get them because Max and I are going to stop selling those. We have no interest in those. It's, you know why? Zazzle raised the prices and I can't justify raising it more to try to, because we sell a mug. I think they're like $26 now, which is ridiculous. And then we make $4, I think, out of that, or whatever the fuck it is. And Zazzle's producing it, and I understand all that. That's their business model, but it's not one that I care to be involved in anymore. We used to just put stuff up on Zazzle and go, oh, well, it's cool. And if people want it, that's great. And it's, it's a little extra stream of revenue if people care for it. And now I just kind of feel like you're yoking people. I mean, we sell so much stuff anyway. To send them away to someone who gives us so little return on what is, quite frankly, an amazing product, I don't feel comfortable with it. So I think those are coming down and coming down fairly soon. There's a reason, whatever the fuck, but they're available now. So if you guys want a mug that has Fireboy on it or a mug that has Thorgar and Yeep on it, get them, because they are going to be coming down very soon. And I don't use that as some weird bait and switch sales tactic. I mean it. It's like I would take them down this second, but there's a complication or two that I can't go into. But once I can, I'll take them down. And then tweakedaudio.com/40, the earbuds. And please remember, if you guys buy year 5, the download set for year 5, you will get a free set of earbuds from our friends over at tweakedaudio.com/40. And if you buy the UN of Evil box set, you will either get 2 sets of earbuds, or you can get a set of earbuds and a 50% off discount code to purchase anything on the site. So go ahead and do that, please. Buy year 5, buy the UN of Evil box set, get your stuff from Tweaked, and it's just a big incestuous thing. Why not? We'll get you some autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds, and you'll enjoy it. You'll listen to the show. You'll jerk off while you're driving. It'll be fantastic. And let me remind you folks that, I've done live dates all across this great land of ours. That seems really all across? I don't know. It seems, well, I've been to New York, and I've been to Texas, and I've been to Seattle, and I've been to San Diego, and all points in between, folks. Right now, there's only one live show left on the books, and that is this weekend. And I should tell you that I am very excited for this show. Going to be in Detroit. You guys have requested that I come there, so I'm excited to do so. It would be cool if you bought some tickets. I would appreciate that very much, as this is now my job and trying to get this all squared away. Tickets are available now at brownpapertickets.com for this Saturday's show, May 11th. Saturday at the Box Theater in Mount Clemens, Michigan. Pick up some tickets now. They are available through brownpapertickets.com, and I can tell you right now, there will be walk-up sales available. I always try to play coy and go, well, I don't know. You never know what's going to happen. Bullshit. There will absolutely be walk-up sales available. I may have scalpers all over town. You know what? I may have Gene Simmons build me a bunch of robot insects, and I will strap tickets to their backs. And then if you find them in your town, before the bug explodes, of course, then you can come out to the show and enjoy it. That'll be fun. But I will tell you right now, ticket sales, I would love it if you bought some tickets to come on out to the show at Mount Clemens Theater, or no, the Box Theater in Mount Clemens, Michigan. I still haven't decided what I'm doing material-wise. Like, some people said they wanted to hear the one man, but you know what? That's on the CD. So I don't know if you want me to burn that. I got no idea. And honestly, seeing as literally there's going to be nobody there at this point, it might just be me bemoaning the fact that nobody's there. I have no idea. But come on out, because let's put it this way. I will talk, and I guarantee I'll say something. I just don't know what it's going to be. And I will bring T-shirts. They will be for sale. Only the Red Boy shirts. That's what I have available. And I'll bring some other cities, because what the hell? Why not? I think I've got some Boston left, some Minneapolis. I got a Denver. And I'll bring those out. So if anybody's interested in those, that'll be great. Because those are different colors. Those are black and whatever. Because sometimes people just want black. They don't care what the design is. I don't know. Why am I telling you about shirts? Nobody cares about that. Listen, folks, here's how people clothes shop and how they feel about shirts. Now, shut the fuck up. But I'm excited to come to Detroit/Sterling Heights. But I will tell you this. This is funny and not that funny. And by funny, I mean awful. The guy who runs this place has got to think I'm a fucking loser. I mean, just a terrible guy. I called him, and he was so cool on the phone, and I booked the theater in seconds. It was just this weird thing where I had been looking for so long for a place in Detroit. And I wound up calling Box Theater because I started to look outside of Detroit into the suburbs. So I called the Box Theater in Sterling Heights, and I got John on the phone, and he booked me immediately. Like, he was so excited, and the price was reasonable. So it was all squared away. I cut him a check that day, and we were booked. And then I wound up having something to do the weekend that I was there. And again, I can't talk about it. I will. But so I had to reschedule the show. So I sent him an email and I called him and I left a message. And I said, listen, I'm sorry. An opportunity that is greater than this has arisen. I don't think I wrote him a scroll. What the fuck is that phrase? An opportunity that is greater than this has arisen, sir. I talked into John's skull like fucking Hamlet. So I told him, I wrote him a note and I called him and I left him a message. Well, if you've paid attention, he never got back to me. So I was traveling, I was on the road and doing stuff, and then I called a couple times and I left messages and I sent a couple emails and he never got back to me. And then the date came and went. So I wondered if he was actively sitting in the theater going, where is this guy, tapping his watch? I don't understand why he hasn't shown up yet. Well, dude, I called and left messages. So that, I never spoke to him. And then a couple more weeks went by, and then finally I called the theater, and I got a different guy on the phone. And I said, is John there? And I was finally getting a person instead of a machine. And he said, oh, no, he's not. And I said, listen, I got to explain this to you. And I did. And the guy goes, oh, well, I'm sure he wants to talk to you. Yeah, I fucking hope so. I didn't show up. So he was very nice about it. And so John wound up calling me back, and we rescheduled the dates. And the original date was in March, I think, or the end of, no. Yeah, it was in March. It was early in March. Yeah, March 9th, I think. And that was a Saturday night. And I had booked that on purpose because I was doing the Saturday nights, because especially in the suburbs, it made it easier for people to come out and drive out and see the show. But also, Saturday nights was better for me because then I could get the theater and get it for a shorter time. Long story. So I booked a Saturday with him. But usually when I was doing the show, I was going out and doing them on Fridays, as you know. So I rescheduled the show, and I rescheduled it for May 11th. And I think I came on here, and the first week I believe I said May 10th. And I plugged it as May 10th. And then I started to say May 11th, just because I kind of assumed it was May 11th. But I wasn't sure, because I usually booked Fridays, but then I had booked this originally as a Saturday, but then I rescheduled it. I thought I rescheduled it for a Friday, but I wasn't sure if it was a fucking Saturday. I couldn't keep track, because again, I had been out of town, all this bullshit. So I call him again. And I call him like 3 times, and I send emails. And I go, you think I am a psychopath, but listen to me. I don't know when I'm coming there. Like, I know I'm either the 10th or the 11th. I just need you to let me know. And finally, I sent him a bunch of other questions too. And finally, he just sent me a note, and he goes, I have you for May 11th. We're good. John. Like, he's just so tired of hearing from me at this point. So that said, folks, come out to the Box Theater in Mount Clemens this Friday, May 10th. I don't know who will be there. I don't know what show is there. But why not go a day early just to get the feel of the place and figure out where you're going to see it? I'm human lunch meat. I'm nobody. I'm baloney in pants. God damn it. Why do I think I'm somebody special? Why do I think I'm anybody interesting? I'm not. All I bring to the table is everything that everybody else does, but louder. Don't hit snooze on me, motherfucker. I am a hilarious noise machine. I'm going to tell you this. You need to sit down and reevaluate your life if you can pull 2 midget Indian wrestlers out of your skull at any time. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. I can't go for Schmidt. No, no. No can do. 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 No can do.